Hey everyone, it's Charlie Morgan here and welcome to another video. In the last weekend, I've got rid of a lot of things. I have made some decisions and taken some actions to drastically simplify my personal life, and I'm going to walk you through why I've done that and what that sort of looks like. I've got rid of everything, including my hair, as you can probably tell. And when you have big goals, you have to make big sacrifices. And what I've learned is that if you want to have a complicated work life, you kind of cannot have a complicated personal life, because too much complication, too much stress, too much management of your personal life and your business life or work life will create way too much difficulty for you, and it will stop you from progressing and growing. And what I've done recently is I've moved house. I made the decision to move somewhere more ordinary. I was living before in one of the most expensive streets, or most expensive areas of the city I live in. I had these huge, big glass windows. We had this like really ultra modern flat. It was fun and it was cool, but it required a lot of I didn't feel particularly relaxed. I kept feeling like I was having to show it off. Not that I was insecure about it, but it just came with too much management. The rent was ridiculously expensive for what it was. And the biggest issue is that there wasn't much room. I had to work in the same room that I slept in. And it wasn't conducive to really relaxing. It was more for lifestyle than practicality. So what I've done is I've moved to a house as opposed to a flat. The area isn't as nice, the rent is cheaper, and the house it's not ordinary because it's still nice. But what I've done is I've taken some steps to move away from a more sort of expensive, high maintenance lifestyle towards one that's more ordinary. Because I always used to be afraid of being ordinary, and I always used to be terrified of an average house with a normal sort of life. But I've realized that if you want to do extraordinary things, you kind of have to also be ordinary in your personal life. Now, this may not apply if you're a billionaire, because then it's kind of different. But I've been thinking a lot recently. My goal is to get to 8 figures, is to build an 8-figure company. And so far I'm at multi-7 figures. But I will get to 8 figures much quicker and much faster and help way more people and build much better businesses and products if all of my energy is going into my company and the things that mean a lot to me, like my relationships, as opposed to parties at flats that I don't really like, right? So I've done that. I've also taken action to minimalize everything in my life. An example is my hair, right? I was having to get my hair cut every 2 weeks for it to look half decent. I have a receding hairline, as you can probably tell, and it was just annoying me, and I kept having to sort of maintain it and do stuff and wash it and use products. And I realized it occurred to me when I was doing some program recording, and I was just there and I was like, what the hell are you doing, man? Just get rid of the thing. So I shaved my head, and to be honest, I think it looks better, it feels better, and it requires next to no maintenance. The big forehead is out, but I don't really care, because now that I've done it, I feel much more calm because I haven't got to worry about it anymore. And so that's that. Now, when you move house, you have an opportunity to eradicate stuff from your life that does not add value. Now, I call this stuff tat, right? It's kind of I don't know if it's a UK slang word, but I think my dad used to use it to describe things that don't help or have value. And I've sort of thought about minimalism for a while because I wanted to do it, but I've never really had the balls or that sort of big change in lifestyle that would have supported the decisions to get rid of a lot of stuff. I've realized that you should get rid of things if they don't tick one of 3 boxes, okay? And basically, I don't want anything in my life that doesn't add value, right? That doesn't actually give me something. And I've realized there's 3 types of value when it comes to things. Now, this is my personal experience, right? I'm not telling you this is what you should do, but I've been able to justify getting rid of a lot of things from my life. And that's things you just got stuff you probably look at it now. It's just stuff that adds no value. You know what it is. And I've realized I've been able to conjure up a heuristic to get rid of this. There's 3 things that something needs to have in order for me to keep it. And ideally, it should have 2 of the 3 things, if not all 3. Because if it's only got 1, then it usually isn't going to be good. So there's three heuristics: utility value, aesthetic value, and for the life of me, I've just drawn a blank. Utility value, aesthetic value, and sentimental value. So utility value is how often you use something. Sentimental value is like obviously how much what it actually means to you. Sorry, I'm sort of got 2 fingers up here now. That's a bit rude, isn't it? And the third one is basically based on like, we've got usage and we've got like what it means, and then we've got how it looks. So aesthetic value. You really want to keep things that look nice. So as you'll notice behind me, I've got this piece of artwork. I've also got my Chinese money plant that has come everywhere with me. I'll show you my setup in a second. I'm going to show you my office setup in a second. So you want things that look nice because they make your environment more welcoming, and you want to be working in an office or an environment that you want to be in, right? So you want to make it nice and make it pretty. Sentimental value is obviously things that mean something to you. And you're going to have things that you don't want to get rid of because you're emotionally attached to those things, typically because they remind you of an experience or a person that you no longer have or can't have right now, and that's okay. I'm not particularly sentimental. What I would rather have is 1 or 2 items that really mean everything to me than 20 things that kind of mean something to me. Because what I found with sentiment is that, let's say like you've got like loads of stuff. I'm not giving you advice, this is just how I've handled it, because I'm not going to tell you to start throwing out like stuff that means things to you, but this is how I've dealt with it. Like, I used to have like, loads of different items for different things. Like I did an interrail trip when I was younger, went around Europe, and I had loads of stuff, all these like maps and like stuff. And I realized like, if I get rid of all of that except from 1 item, the 1 item will mean more to me than everything else combined. So I just kept the, when you go interrailing, you get like a bracelet, and I kept the bracelet. And like, I don't need the maps and everything else. I've just got the bracelet, and that reminds me that's enough for me to be connected to the experience that was positive and to maintain the sentiment. And now that I've done that, the bracelet means way more because I've taken everything that I chucked away and sort of put that value into the bracelet. So it's a way of sort of decluttering your life, but keeping things that mean something to you. And then utility value is obviously whether or not you use it. So the only things that I now have in my immediate environment, in my office, are things that I don't really have anything sentimental in my office, to be honest. That's more in my bedroom and stuff. But the only things that I have in here now are things that look nice and things that I actually use. Anything that doesn't like look nice and that I use has been eliminated. Now, this office space right now is very like, there's nothing in it except for my setup, which I'm going to show you in a second. I am going to be getting things in this office, right? It's gonna, like right now, as you can see, it's literally just like, bare walls, and my desk is here. I'm going to be getting bookshelves to put loads of books on, because books to me have like sentimental, utility, and aesthetic value. They've got the big 3, right? Bookshelf, same thing. Going to be getting plants. I'm going to make this office look nice, but for now, I wanted to just explain my philosophy for this. And like, it's really, really, really nice, right? To get rid of things that you don't need, to sort of downsize your lifestyle. So to put it into perspective, my personal outgoings are now like half of what they were before. Like literally the gym that I'm going to in this location now is quite literally 10% of the price of the one that I was paying for before. And it's not about saving money, and it's not about that at all, but it's about sort of like, I've realized that as my business has grown and as my business has developed, my lifestyle has also developed, with cars and stuff. I've never been into watches too much, but like cars and better apartments and stuff, more expensive clothes. And so I've just thought, well, hang on, this can't work. Like, you don't want your lifestyle to scale with your business. You want your lifestyle to maintain like a stable constant, and for your business to be the variable in your life that produces the chaos. Because I'll tell you now, like if you have a really complicated work life and you go home and your home is just as complicated as your work, then you have no, like for me personally, this is only my experience, I need some sort of order and stability to go home to so I can switch off. And if I haven't got that, I'm in this constant cycle of chaos and I really spiral out of control, and it really has a negative impact on my ability to focus. And you know, when I put a solid 12-hour day into my business of program recording and coaching and working with my team, like I can then leave this room and then go, and like my relationship with my girlfriend is very sort of like stable. It's a very low maintenance relationship. We're both very relaxed. We never, like there's no complication there. Same with everything else in the house. It's all very relaxed. It's all very steady and stable. There's no complication. There's no chaos. So when I leave this room, which is the room of chaos, at your office, you genuinely want your office to be orderly and tidy and neat, but you kind of want the office to be like the room in which you are in a chaotic state, because you're creating, and to really create anything, you have to take chaos and sort of just like mold it, and then it becomes order. And that's what a business is you're just taking chaos and producing order. But if you leave your office and everything else around you is chaotic, then it kind of just, you're just in chaos all the time. So that's why I've done this. So that's everything for today's video. What I'm going to be doing in the next video is actually walking you through my setup and the desk and the technical stuff that I've got, because I've made some changes to my setup and I've bought some things and done some cool shit with it, and it looks awesome. And it's going to be what I use to make 8 figures in my business, and I'll be releasing that video on Friday, which I believe will be, it's obviously the end of this week. But yeah, I wanted to just update you. Not that anyone really cares too much about my personal life, but I think I've done this and I've made this decision to improve my business, and fingers crossed it works. But I already feel better, focused and happier, and I've got less things than ever, and I feel like I've got more than ever, if that makes sense. So yeah, serving me well so far. The next video will show you the setup, and I'll see you in the next video. If you enjoyed today's video, you can just subscribe, you can comment, you can like, you can do all that good stuff. If you are running a marketing agency or a coaching business and struggle with client acquisition, check out the first link in the description. I think you might like it. It's designed to sell you something. There's no bullshit. Don't worry, it's not a course that ends in a 7. It's a funnel. It's designed to sell you something. But if you can't get clients as an agency owner or a coach, we might be able to help you. That's everything from me. I hope you have a good day, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.